Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. When it comes to the future of quarterback Matthew Stafford, Rams coach Sean McVay is cautiously optimistic. Hours after signing a multi-year extension with L.A., McVay was asked whether he expects Stafford to return in 2026, said he doesn't have a timetable for Stafford's decision, but is hopeful he'll be back. The Rams set to begin what McVay said was an extensive search for their new offensive coordinator after Mike LaFleur was hired as the Cardinals' next head coach. Another change expected for Arizona, moving on from quarterback Kyler Murray. And he will find another team, believes ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano.
Maybe he's the guy Minnesota brings in to provide some level of competition for J.J. McCarthy. Maybe he's a guy that the Browns look at. They just hire a head coach in Todd Monken, who's worked with a mobile quarterback, obviously, the last couple of years in Baltimore. So I do think there are plenty of places where he could land and get a shot, at the very least, to be the starter next year.
ESPN's David Purdum's reporting an arbitrator ruled in favor of Heat guard Terry Rozier in a salary dispute with the NBA that arose after he was federally indicted in a gambling investigation. The salary will be released.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday, we continue to get you ready for the big game. Mike Vrabel versus Mike McDonald. I'll tell you who has the advantage in the battle of Mikes. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It is AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Bernard Gooden in 15 minutes. LSU offensive lineman, freshman Ryan Miret in studio in 1 hour. We'll head to back to Mobile in about 90 minutes. Dalton Wasserman, PFF. We'll talk about the Senior Bowl. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Let us begin today by going back first to Friday. I had the great pleasure Friday evening of being the Grand Marshal of the Carnival Crew Day Louisiana Mardi Gras Ball. Great fundraiser for Mary Brad Perkins. And while I was there on Friday, that's why I wasn't here on the show Friday, and Muse was hosting. While I was there and everyone's getting ready and doing the whole backstage thing, the phone starts to ping, and all of this investigation, CSC, the Collegiate Sports Commission investigation, chatter starts to happen. The Athletic, if you had missed it on Friday, The Athletic released a report that LSU is under investigation by the CSC. The CSC, the Collegiate Sports Commission, of course, we know third-party NIL has to go through the CSC, the NIL Go, which is overseen by Deloitte. So you probably know that any deal, any NIL deal over $600 has to go through NIL Go and be approved. Right? Okay, got it. Well, effectively, when everyone sees this on Friday, the first thought is, oh my God, LSU just bought this incredible transfer portal class. They must have broken rules. And so they're under investigation. That's what Rivals thought. That's what the internet thought. And the reason, by and large, the internet thought that is because the tweet from The Athletic about LSU and the CSC investigation had a picture of an LSU football helmet. And in the report, you know, if you subscribe to The Athletic and you read the report, in the report, the CSC, The Athletic in this report mentions Lane Kiffin and makes reference to Damon Williams. leading everyone to believe that this was football related. As a matter of fact, that's not at all what this was. And, by the way, here's the tweet. Paul, if you want to pull it up, there it is for those watching. Look, there it is. I mean, it's from the at the Athletic CFB. College sports' new enforcement arm has opened its first publicly known investigation into a big-name program, LSU. Anyway, and they have the picture of an LSU football helmet on there. You know, sometimes I bemoan state of journalism today, and I don't mean to be like the old guy yelling at the crowds. I'm certainly not trying to, at the clouds. I don't mean to be like sitting here from an ivory tower. I'm not saying I'm flawless. Certainly I mess up. We all do. This is clickbait engagement farming at its worst. Because here's what we actually know. With very little effort, I was able to determine through multiple sources that this is not involving football at all. It is an LSU student athlete. I could not confirm male or female or what sport. I could not get anyone at LSU to confirm that to me, and I can understand with this going on why that would be the case. But has nothing to do with football. So posting a picture of a football helmet and including Lane Kiffin, Damon Williams references in the piece by The Athletic, absolute Bush League. Terrible job. But I got a lot of clicks, didn't you? That tweet's been seen 933,000 times. Good job. Congrats on that. Boosting those numbers. Maybe get those subs up a little bit. So football is not involved. In the piece at The Athletic, they obtained an email from the head of the CSC to Verge Osbury. In part, this reads, the College Sports Commission is investigating. This is an email from Katie Medeiros to Verge Osbury. The College Sports Commission is investigating whether a member of one of your institution's sports teams failed to report one or more third-party name, image, and likeness deals in accordance with applicable rules. A member of one of your institution sports teams. A member. One person. One student athlete who failed to report third-party deals. I can tell you that I made a few more calls, reached out to a few more people, and apparently, what this boils down to is you have a student athlete who has an agent, because they all do now. The student athlete had done third-party NIL deals. Remember, only deals valued over $600 need to be reported. And apparently, this student athlete's agent had gotten behind on reporting, and there was some question as to whether or not the value of the deal was even worth $600. You want to talk about a gigantic nothing burger. Also, it is important to mention LSU is not being investigated. The student athlete is the one being investigated. Now, LSU, as I'm told, is cooperating fully. And actually, Zach Greenwell, who's LSU's Deputy Athletic Director for External Affairs, released a statement to everybody, released it to us at LouisianaSports.net. They included this over at in The Athletic as well. Good job at least including that. So we've been in regular communication with the CSC since the organization's formation. Appreciate their ongoing collaboration and guidance. We anticipate this specific inquiry will be resolved shortly. We will not comment further on regulatory matters. Also, as I was able to gather, the CSC released more than a dozen inquiries within the past couple of weeks. Basically, throughout the fall, they batched them all together and then released these in their first big batch of inquiries. The Athletic chose LSU in the headline of the photo because LSU is probably the biggest brand involved, even if it's not football. And they're moving forward this way. LSU, as I'm told, has complied fully and cooperated. And by the way, it's been more than 2 weeks since that email was sent. It was on January the 15th. The email was sent. It was either the 15th or the 16th. I'm scrolling this piece here from The Athletic, and I don't see it now. But anyway, it's been more than 2 weeks. So LSU has been in communication with the CSC over 2 weeks, and as I understand it, this is close to resolution. And it appears to be just a big misunderstanding. So all this to say, if you saw that on Friday or over the weekend and you're concerned about it, from an LSU perspective, don't be. It doesn't involve football, and apparently it's just a giant nothing burger. But it's another reminder of a very clear line between people who do their job well and people like Matt Baker and Ralph Russo, who did a very shoddy job, who failed to make even the most elementary attempt to get someone to give details on this. Like, who am I? I was able to get more details than The Athletic provided. Details are there if you want to get them. What's the old saying? Don't ruin a good story with the facts. Appears that's what The Athletic did here. Shame on him, man. Terrible job by The Athletic. Terrible job, Matt Baker. Terrible job, Ralph Russo. Be better. From LSU's perspective, and certainly from LSU's football perspective, all's good. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Was over at the KKDL Ball this Friday night. Had some whiskey, but you better believe had the ice chest full of beer as well. Had some Evermore. You know that. You had to mix in your water, so I did have the Evermore in there as well. But drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. If you're going to be at the any Mardi Gras parades throughout Carnival season, make sure you got the ice chest full of delicious ice-cold Bud Light cans, the 16-ounce aluminum bottles. If you're trying to avoid the glass around the, like pool in the summertime around the parade route, make sure you get the 12-ounce cans, the 16-ounce aluminum bottles, the officially licensed partner, the official partner of LSU Athletics. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. A former LSU defensive lineman, Bernard Gooden, is getting ready for the draft, and he's going to join us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. GetGordon.com. 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 Hey, if you've been injured, remember, we're not just talking about auto wrecks. Yes, auto wrecks, big truck wrecks, slip and fall, workers' comp. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You got to get what you're entitled to. And I'm telling you, a few years ago, was rear-ended on the bridge, and it was a gigantic inconvenience. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but had damage to my vehicle, had incurred expenses for rental and repair. And, it mattered having an attorney going to bat for you. So do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Because you can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, anywhere in the state of Louisiana, or you can dial 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
How about Garrett Nussmeier? Congrats, man. MVP of the Senior Bowl. 5 of 7 passing for 58 yards. 5 of 8 for 57 yards, excuse me. He ran one time. It was a 3-yard touchdown. He did throw an interception. If you watch the game, though, the interception wasn't Nuss's fault. There was about a 20-yard slant down the middle of the field. He put it right on the receiver from Wyoming, went off his hands, was deflected. The safety intercepted it. But Nuss, for his efforts, wins the Senior Bowl MVP and was one of the gigantic winners of the entire week, showing when healthy what it can look like, and a great first step here in this draft preparation for Garrett Nussmeier. Nuss, one of quite a few LSU seniors who are off to the next step as they begin preparing for the next phase of their career, and among them is now former LSU defensive lineman Bernard Gooden, who's good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Bernard, good to have you back, man. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing awesome. It's great to hear your voice again. We appreciate the time. Hey, first, let's just start first and foremost. Fill everybody in, man. Since the bowl game ended and when we last saw you, catch us up on what's been going on with you.
Man, just some circumstances have, had a high ankle sprain, but it's all good. And just been rehabbing that and just really been locked in. Finally got my way out here to Fort Worth, Dallas. Just got done with my first training session, so came a long way from that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. We I'll get to the bowl game here in a second, but I'd love to know. We talked to you after you first committed and signed with LSU, and you had a great season. Tell me what your experience was like at LSU compared to what you thought when you first got here.
Man, my whole experience was nothing else than I didn't even expect, to be honest. Even when the season didn't go how we wanted to, it's still LSU. Man, you can't beat that. Just for everything from the family, man. It's just even from the games, after seeing the game, because I know before, when we talked the first time, it was I didn't really know what to expect. But going there and seeing that, you'd never forget that.
Yeah, man. Was there a some of the games was there a moment or something like that, or a game where you'll immediately remember the feeling of what it felt or looked or sounded like, just that size and scope?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you say what time, Matt?
Yeah. Was there? No, you're good. So was there? You said experiencing it, right? Was there a game or a moment that stands out to you immediately?
Really, every home game. Literally, every home game for LSU.
What about the opener at Clemson?
Ooh, that was a nice one. I did like the opener at Clemson. Even then, though, coming back and playing in the stadium, it's crazy, bro. LSU stadium probably the best I ever played in.
Bernard Gooden's with us here. What was your experience with LSU fans like?
I feel it was good. Especially for my senior day, it was a lot of people who watched me, I want to say, even kids telling me, from the video game, so like how many people really pay attention? And like I just felt the love every game, literally every game.
Yeah.
Especially seeing it, like you really felt it.
Man, it's hard. In a very short amount of time, relatively, you became sort of a fan favorite, man. People love the way you play and sort of the energy and the emotion. Hey, Kyle Williams was your position coach. Coach Kyle's not going to be back, but what was it like playing for a year under Kyle?
Man, something you can't take that for granted. Somebody who played that long in the league, who played in the position you played, just like give you the tools and little gems. I feel like that's unpriceable. You feel me? You can't beat that.
What do you think? Because I remember whenever, Kyle brought you in and we talked to him, and he liked you a lot because you kind of mirrored his game, right? A little bit of an undersized interior guy that could really generate a pass rush from the interior. What did you learn? What did you learn from Kyle?
I feel like from Coach Kyle, he just taught me just how to really just be nasty, man. When you go on that field, it's you versus the other man. Like, ain't nobody gonna stop you. Can't nobody tell you what you can and can't do. So that's what I feel like Coach Kyle. And then with us being the same height and everything, it was like, you gotta have that dog, you gotta have that extra push, you gotta do a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Bernard Gooden's with us. Hey, I remember like one of the first days of fall camp, maybe one of the first padded days, went out there. And I was watching the defensive line. Dude, you never stopped talking the whole practice. And and at one point, BK went over and was like, "Hey, man, like, I think he used it. I think he used it next one. He was like, shut the whatever." What is like? Did your teammates get annoyed with you at practice?
I say the offensive side does.
Yeah, I bet they do. What about during a game, man? Like, do you carry that over you? You talk trash the whole game?
Yeah, I feel like I do towards the end. Like, I feel like in the beginning, I'm kind of just feeling out, trying to see where his mind at. See, win a cover up. Then I start, I really get heated up. I call it my X factor. My X factor come on.
Was there anybody that you could tell this year that you really got under their skin?
I want to say, I ain't gonna lie, South Carolina line, I was getting in their head. Nah, for real. I think you like that.
That's so good, man. Hey, go to the bowl game. I know, you chose to play, which some guys choose not to play. Man, you're a senior. You chose to play. I think people love that about you. You had the ankle sprain. Were you, when you got hurt, were you nervous that it could have been more? It's because it sounds like, Bernard, it was pretty minimal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you never want to get hurt. I feel like the initial reaction is just was emotional because dang, last one, this how I'm going out. I don't want to end my career in the last game being hurt. So it was at first, but once I got through that, and then it's we did the MRIs, and I trusted our staff, and then my agent came up with a plan. It was I'm good. I ain't got nothing to stress about.
Yeah. So
once I got to the Spurs and stuff.
So you were just down for a few weeks?
Yeah, literally like a month, I'll say.
Okay. So you said you're in Fort Worth now.
Yes,
walk us through kind of your pre-draft process. What's all that entail?
So for my first day, it's a little different now because I'm coming off of this injury. But so for me, I come in at 12, second group for D-line, and we working out with all the same positions. So I come in at 12, I do an hour rehab for me purposely because my ankle, and then I do 30 minutes a warm up before we do an actual warm up with the group, and then we go do the group warm up. That's about 20 minutes, probably 15, and then we get into the dive of the workout. We got 3 different sets, different workouts. Then after that, we do some active recovery stuff, core, and I think we ended it with stretching. And then after that, get you a protein shake, treat meal, and then that's it. Do it again tomorrow.
What flavor protein shake, man?
Got the chocolate, man.
Same, dude. Like a former fat kid, dude. I'm going for the chocolate every time.
Oh, gotta get the chocolate.
Got to, man. Who are you working out with? Who's the trainer?
Apex.
And I know the facility that you're at, they train a bunch of defensive linemen, right?
Yeah. That's what I came with. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow I think we're supposed to go to the field with B-Sub.
Man, it's I'm sure it'll be a great thing for you. You got a dream landing spot if any team could draft you that you'd want?
I don't honestly, because I feel like wherever I go is gonna be the right fit. Everything happens for a reason, so it's not even one team I want to go to.
Did you have a team? Because you grew up in Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a favorite NFL team when you were growing up?
Yeah, I mean, we did. We had, like, in the house, everybody go for the Saints.
You said for the Saints?
Yeah.
Let's go! Who dat? All right, man. Look, Mickey Loomis is a big fan of the show. I'll put in a good word for you, man. Maybe they'll pull the trigger.
Hey, we'll see.
Dude, I'd love for that to happen. That'd be awesome.
Hey, that would be awesome.
Hey, man. So you're in Fort Worth. What's next? I get like pro day coming up. I guess a little later in the spring. What else you got?
March 23rd. After the pro day. After that should be pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna come back and train, and then still stay in state. But other than that, to the draft.
All right, pro day March 23rd, heading toward the draft. Hey, man, glad you're healthy. We appreciate the time and everything you did this year, man. We look forward to catching up soon. Wish you best of luck before the draft. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it, man. That's Bernard Gooden. 1 year in LSU, but man, made it impactful. His season with the Tigers. Gooden in this season ended up playing in 12 games, as we mentioned. He played in the bowl game, 24 tackles. He had 4 TFLs, 2 sacks, a forced fumble. Again, that sort of interior presence. And he was a guy that really announced himself early in fall camp was going to be impactful. They really, really struggled to block him in fall camp. And he was a really good rotational piece, in the interior this season. So wish him well. It'll the last time we saw Bernard, and it sucks because he's a senior, a fifth-year senior who chose to play in the bowl game when a lot of guys don't, right? And he chose to play, to go right out there with his guys. And the last time we saw him is when he and if you remember in that bowl game, he was carted off. And so, you're just thinking, God, please don't let this be what you fear it could be. It turns out he had a high ankle sprain, and so about a month off, you heard him say there. And back getting ready for the draft. So wish him well, man. That's a guy that got great energy and great attitude, positivity, easy guy to pull for, and wish him well. So we'll keep up with Bernard as we get closer to and through the draft. Hey, we're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, parishrestoration.com. That's the website. Look, we had tons of rain in the past couple of weeks and all the cold weather. It's maybe compounded a lot of those problems with rain and ice and snow in some parts of the state and the region. If you had water intrusion, if you need restoration or remediation work done, Parish Restoration can help. You go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. One more time, parishrestoration.com. Just fill out the form on the homepage. They'll always give you that free estimate, and you can make a decision if you want to move forward. Not only can they help you with water intrusion, restoration, remediation. If you have mold, they can help there. Odor, they can help there. Sanitization. Maybe you got a cold or flu bug going through the office, school, church, whatever. Let them come spray. They'll knock it all out. Parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of different ways you get involved in the show. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. It was a busy recruiting weekend for LSU as well. Some big-time prospects. Steve Wiltfong has put in a Fong bomb prediction that Dobson, the five-star cornerback, the number one cornerback for 2027, that he's projected to land with LSU after a great visit. Another thing that I was told on Sunday, this one kind of slipped through the cracks, I think, for even a lot of the recruiting guys, but I found this one on Sunday. I was told that JUCO offensive lineman Adrian Lamb was on a visit. He would count toward the 2026 class, so not the portal class. He would count toward the 2026 class. So he played at Georgia Military College this past season as a redshirt freshman, played in 10 games. He's got interest from Auburn, Alabama, South Carolina, among others. So as I understand, look, LSU got the last crack. Wednesday is signing day. The quote-unquote traditional first Wednesday in February signing day is Wednesday. And so LSU is going to get a signature from the defensive back from Shaw. And who knows, maybe could add Adrian Lamb as well, a JUCO offensive lineman. So want to keep an eye on. Apparently that visit went very well. All right, it is after further review. Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back, go around the SEC on AFR.
After further review.
Tell you what, man. We've been hitting those temps in the 20s. Wind chills in the teens. Hope that heater's running right. Hey, look, if you're having any issue with your heater, call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. I actually got a text on the show text line earlier this morning. It was at 8:09 a.m. for a guy named Ben K, who said, Matt, what's the HVAC company you recommend? Told him, River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Remember, I was actually at lunch today as well with a client from Spine Center. And she was mentioning, Heather was mentioning that she loves River City's 1 Hour Air because when the technician's on the way, they text a picture of the technician. I'm like, yes. Text, email, call, name, picture, reviews of that technician, so you'll always be comfortable with who's coming in your house. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Tamba to McKinnon. Pull up. No, he passed it. And a lob. And another dunk for Nwoko. He's got 17, and he's dominating the rim.
When they made their run, they hit some shots in transition, but we had some self-inflicted errors there. We turned it over, and we took some tough twos. And I thought once we eliminated that, we were a lot better on our offensive end. Second half, we were in overtime, 12 assists, only 3 turnovers. We got to the free throw line and converted. And, you know, it certainly wasn't a thing of beauty on defense, but we got just enough stops to get out of here with the win.
Tigers survived in Columbia. They had a big lead early, let it slip away. Ultimately, back and forth late in the ball game, went to overtime, and LSU outscored Carolina 14-9 in the overtime period. So LSU gets a much-needed win. Nwoko at 21 points. Rashad King 18 for LSU. Markel Sutton had 16. Max McKinnon had 15, a gigantic 3 late in the overtime period, which put LSU up 2 scores, which allowed them the opportunity to play the free throw game late and ultimately hold on and win. So the Tigers win 92-87. They're 2-7 in conference play. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're going to the tournament or going to go on some incredible run, but we talked about last week that the 2 games they needed to get with Mississippi State and South Carolina, well, they fell on their face against Mississippi State and got blasted at home, which was embarrassing. So you wondered what would the response be. They go on the road and they beat South Carolina, which is nice. You get another opportunity against Georgia. You get a week off. Right? They don't play again until Saturday, so you get this week off, and you're home against Georgia. So Georgia is 4-5 in the conference, 16-6 overall. This is the sort of manageable. This was the manageable stretch here where you thought maybe you get a few games back. You've split 2 that you thought you'd get, but you got 1 on the road. The 1 on the road of the 3. So see if they come home Saturday and beat Georgia. Kim Mulkey's squad, meanwhile, having no trouble whatsoever. They roll over Alabama, pun intended, 103-63. Bama came in ranked 24th in the country, beat them by 40. Here was Kim Mulkey after the win on Sunday.
Our defense today was special. You just wish you could bottle that up and play like that every game. Guys, we just beat a very good basketball team. Do not be misled by that score. Everything that we did defensively today affected what we did offensively. And they've beaten people we haven't beaten. They're going to continue to beat people. It was just one of those days where I kind of worried. 11 a.m. in the morning, freezing cold, fans were great, and it started on the defensive end, and it never stopped. And it was everybody that was in the game.
It's a big 2-week stretch here for LSU, starting with that win on Sunday. The Tigers play at Texas on Thursday. Now, remember, they already played in Baton Rouge, and LSU, it was kind of an ugly game, but LSU outlasted Texas 70-65. So LSU goes to Texas on Thursday. They're ranked 4th, by the way. Then you're at Auburn, then home on Valentine's Day against South Carolina, and then you're at number 13 Ole Miss. So this stretch coming up here is going to be pretty pivotal for LSU, but my goodness, the way they're playing right now, they've hit their stride after dropping their 2 games to open conference play. Disappointing, losing that home game against Kentucky and then losing a close one at Vanderbilt 65-61, but they've won 7 straight, doing it in pretty dominant fashion as well. So a big one. Remember, Kim Mulkey has not beaten South Carolina since she's been the LSU coach. So she'll get an opportunity a week from Saturday, so less than 2 weeks at the Maravich Center when they'll play LSU plays number 3 South Carolina. It's a primetime game, 7:30 Central Time, ABC. It's going to be a whole scene and a vibe. See if the Tigers can get a couple more wins before they get there. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Matter of fact, I'm wearing my Our Lady of the Lake quarter zip here today. They're not only a great partner of LSU Athletics, great partner of ours. Tomorrow, I'm wheels up to San Francisco. We'll be on Radio Row at the Super Bowl for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday shows, and our coverage from the Bay Area will all be presented by our friends at Our Lady of the Lake. When you think LSU, think Our Lady of the Lake. When you think Our Lady of the Lake, think LSU. The 2 brands are truly synonymous with one another. And, of course, if you need health care for any type of specialty, if it's heart, if it's cancer, if it's stroke, if it's pediatrics, Our Lady of the Lake, of course, the standalone children's hospital. Drew, my son, sees a lot of specialists there at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. My own personal physician is Dr. Curtis Chastain with the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group. It doesn't matter if it's your care, if it's the Lake After Hours clinics, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, expanding healthcare, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Bama's added former Tennessee and App State running back Khalifa Keith through the transfer portal. Visited the Crimson Tide over the weekend and committed. So Bama now has 6 running backs for the 2026 season. Keith is a 6'1", 235-pounder. Ran for just 129 yards across 3 seasons in college.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Rebs landed Auburn transfer receiver Horatio Fields, recently decommitted from Missouri. He's a veteran who has just 1 year of eligibility remaining. He's the 30th member of Ole Miss's transfer portal class. So he signed with the Tigers in early January, but never enrolled at Missouri. As of last week, was released from his signing and now is headed to Auburn.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
5-star Keemon Spell has committed to Georgia, the nation's #1 running back for the 2027 cycle. 5'9", 205, the number 7 overall prospect. Georgia now has 6 commitments for the 2027 class.
The Florida Gators.
Gators expected to hire Georgia Tech Director of Scouting Cody Collins. That is an important off-field role. Collins was player personnel analyst at Georgia from 2020 to 2024 before going to Tech, and now is headed down to Gainesville to join John Sumrall and his staff. He's had a lot of different guys there from Georgia Tech. Sumrall hired Buster Faulkner as their offensive coordinator. Trent McKnight, one of the wide receiver coaches, so he's pillaging Atlanta.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
And the Buffalo Bills are set to hire Oklahoma's Jay Valai as their defensive backs coach. Spent the last 4 seasons at OU as the cornerbacks coach and co-defensive coordinator, but off to the NFL to coach DBs for the Buffalo Bills under defensive coordinator Jim Leonard. Valai just got a 1-year extension at OU. It was approved. He was going to make $785K. Instead, now he heads to the NFL. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters, too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You can always call them at 288-8138, 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. Not only energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding, but they do interior shades now as well. Continue to expand that catalog. If you go to the website, you'll see the Shades tab right there at the top, and you'll see the custom fabric roller shades that they offer now at Relief Windows. Check them out at ReliefWindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Ryan Miret is going to join us in studio in less than 20 minutes from right now. Miret, offensive lineman from Miami, was committed to Ole Miss. When Lane Kiffin took the LSU job, he very quickly flipped to LSU, signed in December, early enrollee. He's on campus, and he's going to be in studio with us in about 20 minutes from right now. Cannot wait to chat with Ryan, talk about his decision to flip from Ole Miss to LSU, get to know Lane Kiffin, obviously as a new offensive line coach, and Eric Wolford. So a lot to dive into with Ryan Miret. We'll do that coming up here in about 20 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll wrap up hour number 1. The Saints are losing a home game in 2026. We'll explain. CFR.
After further review.
YourGoodwood.com. 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 I get it. Funny name, funny logo, all that stuff. People like to laugh. And listen, yes, they do ED treatments. That's part of what they do. So if you have ED, they can help. It's not just a little blue pill. They got lots of different options. But it's so much more than that. This is about helping you feel your best and optimize your life. Okay? Maybe it's hormone replacement therapy. I encourage you men, get your hormone levels checked if you never have. I like to say you don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. It's amazing. It could change your life and has amazing health benefits. Hormone replacement therapy. Same for you ladies. Remember, they've got unique aesthetics and wellness, and they can do hormone therapy for women as well. Highly recommend you look into that. And the dozens of different peptides that they offer, from NAD Plus to BPC 157. You want to live your optimal life? They can help. YourGoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial.
Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
March Madness is heading to Vegas, and LouisianaSports.net is sending one of you plus a friend with it. We're giving away a 3-night Las Vegas getaway from Wednesday, March 18th through Saturday, March 21st, just in time to watch all the madness. Hotel stay and flights covered. All you have to do to enter is head to LouisianaSports.net and click the March Madness getaway link. Sign up now before our March Madness Pick'em launches. Get yourself entered, and you could be watching the tournament from Las Vegas instead of your couch. The winner will be announced on March 2nd.
You mean we're sending somebody to Vegas?
We're sending somebody to Vegas.
Like we're covering their flight?
Covering the flight.
And we're giving them a 3-night hotel stay?
3-night hotel stay.
That seems like a pretty good gift.
That's pretty awesome. It's a bucket list trip for a lot of people, dude.
March Madness. So you fly in on Wednesday, so you're there for the first Thursday and Friday of the tournament. That seems like that would be a lot of fun to watch at a sports book in Vegas.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
We're giving that away, right?
Giving it away. Enter at LouisianaSports.net.
Somebody's going to win it for free?
Free.
Wow. They don't have to pay anything?
Nothing.
Wow.
You just go and win money.
Well, let's protect ourselves legally here. Right? We're not giving away anybody money. You can go to Vegas and you can gamble if you want, or you can watch the games. But what we are giving away is a 3-night hotel stay and airfare travel voucher. It is worth noting you don't have to live in Baton Rouge to win this. You can live anywhere. So you go to LouisianaSports.net, check out the rules and all that full stuff. It's all there. You'll see the March Madness giveaway right there. Literally just punch in your email address to win, to enter to win. But it's all right there. Go check it out. That's a pretty cool gift. Pretty cool giveaway. We're going to run it all through the month of February. We'll announce a winner on March 1st. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. If you want to go watch the Saints play the Cleveland Browns this year, you're going to have to get on a plane. Rim shot.
Oh, okay. Well.
There you go. If you missed it, it's now official. It had been rumored for a long time, horribly kept secret. The New Orleans Saints are going to play a game in Paris this year. It has now been officially announced. the NFL by the New Orleans Saints, the Paris game. Ha ha ha! Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Gaston.
Pepe Le Pew.
Baguettes. Croissant. I just spit all over the place. Did you see that?
I saw it, yes.
That was an aggressive.
That's so gross.
That was an aggressive amount of spittle.
Oh.
Croissant.
Croissant. Café au lait.
Café du Monde.
Café du Monde.
Don't need to go to Paris for that.
No.
Right down the quarter. Get you some beignet. What's the little hats they wear?
A beret.
A beret.
I need Kellen Moore in a Saints themed beret.
Oh. Yeah. Si. No. Oui.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. A cigarette. You know the cigarette with the long, long thing? Like
you stick it in the end? Yeah. So French.
Okay, I'll go.
I don't think anyone asked you to.
I'll go. Gordy, fine. I'll go. All right. Sure. I'll deal with the rude French people. I'll go hang out at the Champs-Élysées. I'll go hang out at the Louvre.
Yeah.
The Louvre.
Wonder if security's got any better there.
I'll go watch Le Tour de France.
Hey.
That's in July.
It's a different time of year, but it's fine. I mean, you know.
I mean, if any team in the NFL is going to play a game in Paris, wouldn't it make sense that it'd be the New Orleans Saints? All the French heritage in the Crescent City. It does make it. What are you going to do? Send the Browns there? Oh, wait. The Saints are going to play the Browns. Grandma Gail released a statement. We're excited to be selected as the designated team for the first regular season game to take place in France. By the way, designated team is what they're called. Not home team, just the designated team.
Designated team.
So unfortunately for the Browns, they don't get to be designated.
They're the undesignated.
They're the undesignated team. Grandma Gail went on to say, this moment is special not only because of the strong cultural connection between Louisiana and France, but also because we will compete for a growing Saints fan base in Paris. In Paris. Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
So I see this kind of two ways. You know, if you're one of the handful of Saints fans that's actually going to venture onto a plane and fly across the ocean to go to Paris to watch this football game, that's pretty cool. I like novelties. Say it all the time. I like, whenever LSU played the game in Lambeau, novelty, pretty cool. I like things like that. They're a one-off. The whole stadium series for the NHL that played the game in Tampa yesterday. Marler was there. Drove, by the way. What are you doing? Drove to Tampa to watch the hockey game and driving back. I'm like, I said, hey, Marler, when you get back, I'm going to tell you about a new invention. It's called an airplane. It's going to blow your mind. Driving to Tampa.
It's a long drive, man.
10 hours.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess.
Anyway, that'd be cool if you're getting on the plane and going to the game, I guess. But really, this kind of sucks for two reasons. Number one, the Saints next year are set to play 9 home games and 8 road games. Of course, in a 17-game schedule, that's going to alternate every year. So this year they played 9 road games. Next season, 9 home, 8 away. Well, you lose a home game. Because the Paris game, you are the designated team. So now back-to-back seasons, you're going to play 9 games away from the Dome. So you effectively, your season ticket holders lose a game. The opportunity just to be at home in your bed and not travel, you lose that. So that's one, is competitively you lose a game, a home game, I mean. And two is, traveling to Europe, it's difficult on teams coming back. So I would assume they don't have to, but a lot of teams do choose to take their open date the week after they get back from playing in Europe or playing overseas because that travel is so difficult. So It's definitely, while it's a cool novelty, I do like and understand and appreciate that, it is definitely a disadvantage to have to go play overseas. The Saints will do that. Croissant for breakfast, lunch and dinner. That, I don't know if that was French. I didn't take French. I took Spanish in school. But I did watch Beauty and the Beast, and that was in France.
Was, yes.
And they all spoke English, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why. Like, why did the candlestick speak English? Lumiere. Like,
It had a French name, though.
He did.
But spoke English.
And with Cogsworth, the clock?
Cogsworth, the clock. I mean, you mentioned garçon.
Garçon.
Oh, excuse me, garçon.
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 I just rolled my J. I think that's Spanish. Garçon. And then Lumiere was always trying to hit on the little broom chick. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
She was a little flirtatious.
Love Beauty and the Beast.
Liked her a lot.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Not too late, y'all, to get your king cakes over at Rouse's. As a matter of fact, my dad told me today, actually, we went to dinner on Saturday night, me, my dad, and my Gramps. Shout out Gramps, 93. Awesome. Went to dinner. And Dad told me that, so my brother Brian lives in South Bend, and my dad and my mom went to go see them around Christmas, New Year's. And so they met some of my brother's friends who were really hospitable. They watched some football over there, whatever. And so my dad, as a thank you, shipped them a Rouse's King Cake up to South Bend. Didn't send one to my brother, his son, and his grandchildren, but sent one to the friend who hosted them for football. I mean, let's be real. That's what I would do too. Just go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Right there on the homepage, you'll see the Mardi Gras King Cakes. Click, ship anywhere in the lower 48. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we are 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. Trusted by champions, built for Louisiana.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Lock Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Rams have their fingers crossed regarding quarterback Matthew Stafford. Coach Sean McVay said he doesn't have a timetable for Stafford to make a decision on his future, but is hopeful he'll be back. McVay also said the team will do an extensive search for its next offensive coordinator, with Mike LaFleur now Arizona's next head coach. So the Cardinals' new coach is set, but the future of their quarterback is not. A fresh start for Kyler Murray somewhere else might not be a bad thing, says ESPN NFL analyst Dominique Foxworth.
I still think he's incredibly talented. Of course, he's uniquely built to play quarterback, which isn't always good, but I think he's a guy that in the right situation could help out a lot. And finding a new team, sometimes it's a wake-up call that players need to kind of fulfill their potential. So I think Kyler Murray's career is far from over, given his athleticism and arm strength. We just hope that he ends up in the right spot so he can fulfill his potential.
Arizona does have the third overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Broncos promoted assistant coach Davis Webb to offensive coordinator. He'd interviewed for 3 head coaching jobs during this hiring cycle. Ravens expected to hire Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver as their new DC.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday, we continue to get you ready for the big game. Mike Vrabel versus Mike McDonald. I'll tell you who has the advantage in the battle of Mikes. It's on Sportsmanlike 6 a.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt. Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Change of plans. My apologies for this, but we were supposed to have Ryan Miret in studio with us. Freshman offensive lineman from Miami, was committed to Ole Miss. When Lane Kiffin got the LSU job, he flipped a few days before signing day to LSU, signed. He's on campus, moved in, and he just texted me, said, sorry for the change, but he's got a tutoring session that just popped up. So I get it, dude. You're in college. Go to your tutoring session. So we'll see if we can catch up with Ryan. He said, can we do it tomorrow? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be on a plane to San Francisco for Super Bowl Radio Row that we're really looking forward to. So in any event, we'll try to get Ryan with us maybe next week when I get back from Super Bowl Radio Row. So Dalton Wasserman, PFF, was at Senior Bowl all last week. Nuss was a huge winner, obviously. Who else stood out? We'll talk about that in 15 minutes, about 13 minutes with Dalton Wasserman from PFF. One really significant story from this weekend that I think is worth mentioning. Found out on Saturday that Lane Kiffin was retaining a few key staff members. Now, I want to give a little bit of a precursor here, because I think a lot of people maybe don't necessarily. Everybody that's an LSU fan knows who the head coach is. Most LSU fans know who the coordinators are. Like, Charlie Weiss, Blake Baker. If you're listening to this show, just by virtue of the fact that you're taking time out of your day to listen or watch, means you care so deeply about your team that you go deeper than most. And so you probably know the assistants. Like, who Kevin Peoples and Jake Olson and Corey Raymond and probably even a lot of the new guys, Kevin Smith, who they are. Even the most ardent LSU fans probably don't know much about the support staff. And I understand that. Maybe covering the program, we're just in a different spot to get to know these people and the roles, the important roles they fill. And something very important over the weekend happened. Hat tip Matt Zenitz. He had it first. We reported it over at LouisianaSports.net. Matt beat us by a little bit on it. But Lane Kiffin has promoted J.R. Belton to the assistant general manager. And J.R. isn't the only staffer that's been retained. I'm going to talk about a few others here in just a second. But I think what this illustrates most is really a pivot or just a contrast in how Lane Kiffin is doing things compared to how Brian Kelly did things. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's a different way that they've gone about doing things. When Brian Kelly got hired, first of all, let me do this first. So when Brian Kelly got hired, he immediately purged. And remember, it was a difficult time around LSU football at that time. You'd won the national championship in 2019. COVID hit. There was a lot of the players marched without Ogeron and the coaching staff. It was the 20 and 21 seasons were ugly. It was a bad time. Okay, you had the Title IX investigation. Like, it was a bad time. Well, when Brian Kelly came in, his first inclination was there's all this bad, clean house. And they turned over like 30 staff members. I'm not just talking about like the assistants, but I mean down to like the people who answer the phone and clean the floors. I mean, he just purged. And while part of me understands why he felt the need to do that, it was also probably a situation where in some cases they threw the baby out with the bathwater. And you lost a lot of really good people. Some of them on-field staffers like Corey Raymond and Blake Baker. Some guys like Jeff Martin, Jeff Martin has worked in LSU football since he was a student under Nick Saban. He was there for the entire Saban tenure. Miles retained him for his entire tenure. Ogeron retained him for his entire tenure. I mean, Jeff had been on staff for 20 years, man. Like, incredible dude who helps, recruit and foster relationships, build events and player personnel. And Jeff was so critical. And he got an offer from USC, and LSU wouldn't match it. He didn't want to leave, but LSU didn't match it. So anyway, it's a bit of a preamble just to suggest and to help you understand why I think this is so important. Because, had Brian Kelly retained, I think the biggest mistake he made when he initially got hired was not retaining some key people. Like, if you retain Corey Raymond and some of the support staff, you never see the defense, in particular the secondary, erode to the degree it was. And maybe you end up winning a national championship in 2023. You had Jane Daniels, you had the best offense in the country, but your defense was atrocious. Maybe you don't have that defensive erosion if you had maintained some of those folks on that side of the ball. Well, what Lane Kiffin did in coming in, I think is very smart, is he talked to enough people who know the inner workings of how to win here and identified who are the guys they needed to retain. And he retained them even if there was someone in that role. So we talk about J.R. Belton specifically. J.R. played football at West Monroe, played at Louisiana Tech, worked at Virginia, got hired at LSU in spring of 2021. Was obviously the 2021 season didn't go well, but he was retained. It's one of the guys that was retained by BK. And he's elevated from recruiting to, this year got promoted to the director of football operations. And Lane Kiffin brought in his own director of football operations on this staff in Thaddeus Rivers. Well, instead of getting rid of JR because he brought in Thaddeus, they promoted JR to assistant GM under Billy Glasscock. And that's one example. I mentioned a couple times Jeff Martin. Jeff Martin was the player personnel director. Well, they brought in Mike Williams. Well, Mike Williams now has the title, the Senior Executive Director of Player Personnel. Austin Shelton, who they brought in from NC State, is the Director of Player Personnel. And Jeff Martin also has the title, Director of Player Personnel. The point is they've created tiers to maintain all of these people that are critical. Carl St. Cyr is another guy they retained as the Assistant Director of Player Personnel. And I could go on. There's others. Donovan Tate, just this last year when J.R. Belton got promoted to Director of Football Operations, Donovan Tate got promoted to the Director of Recruiting, not the recruiting coordinator, the Director of Recruiting, an off-field staff member. Well, Donovan Tate is an incredible recruiter. He's got incredible stories. Well, he's from the Pine Belt in Mississippi. He's told me a story before. At one point, he was grinding. He was coaching high school. He was living in his car. I mean, just a total grinder that has lived the life that a lot of these guys want to live, that they're trying to get to, and he can relate to him so much. And, well, Lane brought Dwight Wilson over from Ole Miss. Well, Dwight is the Senior Executive Director of Recruiting, and Donovan is the Director of Recruiting. So my point is, they have worked so hard. He's retained Sam Petito. Remember, Sam Petito was the guy on Nick Saban's staff at Alabama. It's from the Hammond area. A lot of the guys you got out of Tangipahoa, you got because of Sam Petito. Well, Kalen DeBose gets hired. He doesn't retain Petito. What does Petito do? He gets hired at Ohio State. He's there for 1 year. Who do they get? Oh, they got Caleb Downs at safety from Alabama, the center, Seth, whatever his name is, who went up there, started on their national championship team at center, recruited Blaine Bradford out of Baton Rouge. I mean, Lane worked with Sam at Alabama, by the way, so there was a relationship there, but he retained Sam Petito. He retained Eric Held, who's the Director of High School Relations. Held was a longtime high school coach, head coach, assistant, was the director of the Louisiana High School Coaches Association, knows every high school coach in the state. Yeah, it's important to keep that guy. So I guess I just look and I say it would have been so easy for Lane to come in and uproot everything, bring in his people, and just say this is how we're going to do it. But I think he's done a really, really good job of identifying the key staffers that they wanted to retain and finding a way to blend the staff as best that they can. Now, all these different hires and contracts and all aren't done until the board of supervisors approves them, but I think we're all under the assumption the board is going to rubber stamp all of this. But yeah, I think it's been a very intentional and very successful way that Lane's gone about building not only his on-field staff, but maybe even more importantly in this instance, the support staff, the off-field staff, which just did an incredible job helping build the #1 transfer portal class in the country. All right, it's After Further Review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Always love telling you about Evamore, E-V-A-M-O-R, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Drink Evamore, E-V-A-M-O-R, Evamore.com. We had the KKDL ball on Friday, and yeah, I was drinking some whiskey, drinking a few beers, but you better believe I had Evamore in the ice chest. I got the 12-pack of the 20-ounce bottles. Maybe they have 20, 32, and 64-ounce bottles. I didn't want to carry around a 64-ounce bottle. As a matter of fact, there's a video going around of me on the internet up on the stage with the band, the Mixed Nuts, as they were doing Neck. And in my hand, I got an Evamore bottle. Practice what I preach. Better form of hydration, natural artesian water, a Louisiana product. It's Evamore, E-V-A-M-O-R, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Let's head back to the NFL ranks. So, Senior Bowl last week. The game was on Saturday. You know, Garrett Nussmeier was the MVP of that game. Dalton Wasserman from PFF was there all week. Got to get his thoughts on what he saw in Mobile, not only from Nuss, but the other LSU guys. Who were the big standouts? We'll get some takeaways and boots on the ground perspective when we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
You know the best time to start thinking about putting in a pool? When the wind chill is 16 and you're just dreaming of spring and summer days. Duplessis Builders can help. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. They can put in pool, outdoor kitchen. They can even do putting greens outside in your outdoor space. You want to turn your backyard area, your outdoor area, into your own oasis, your own paradise. Make it happen with Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. They can build any type of custom pool you want. Grand, palatial, resort-style pools, outdoor kitchens. Or maybe you want something a little more modest. Okay. Whatever fits your backyard, your outdoor space, they could do any of it. As a matter of fact, you could design your own pool at their website. Just go to DuplessisBuilders.net and hit the Pick Your Pool tab on the homepage. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
At Hood Dental Care, giving back and spreading smiles is what we love most. This Valentine's Day, we're inviting you to help us change someone's life with our Valentine's Day Smile Giveaway. Do you know someone who deserves a smile makeover? Nominate them today. Just visit the Hood Dental Care Facebook page and fill out the entry form. Submissions are open now through February 13th. One special winner will be chosen and announced on Valentine's Day. It's the Hood Dental Care Valentine's Day Smile Giveaway. Good luck!
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every...
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
And this, though, they're going to let it keep it to Garrett Nussmeier. He pulled it and took it to the house.
Look at Nuss running for a touchdown. Garrett Nussmeier, Senior Bowl MVP over the weekend. Dalton Wasserman from Pro Football Focus was in Mobile. He's with us now. Hey, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Doing awesome, man. Probably not as good as Garrett Nussmeier today, considering what the past 3 months have been like for him. Okay, Nuss feels like a big storyline here to all the LSU people who are keenly interested. On a national scale, what's the feeling and the sentiment around Garrett Nussmeier coming out of the Senior Bowl week?
He had a solid week. I thought he got off to a little bit of a slow start on the first day, but he got better as the operation around him got better throughout the week. And, look, I went into it thinking he was probably pretty clearly the best quarterback prospect of the group, and by the end of the week, he proved that. So I think the big thing for Nussmeier is he's the one guy other than, say, Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson, and I'm assuming Trinidad Chambliss. It sounds like pretty optimistic that he's going back to Ole Miss. He's the guy that it sounds like could still be a day two pick and kind of have that distinction from the rest of the quarterback class that really doesn't have a whole lot of depth to it.
So where do you suspect that Garrett had fallen? How far had he fallen from the beginning of the season to now?
I think there's a mid-round debate, right? I think at the beginning of the season, there was first-round talks with him, right? Obviously, the pedigree with his dad being the Saints offensive coordinator. He had a very good 2024 season. But between the injuries and, honestly, the lack of LSU having any sort of run game, that didn't help him either, because he's the type of quarterback who really needs balance in the offense, being that he's not a dynamic runner himself. So I think he dropped into maybe the early to mid-day 3 discussion. But this Senior Bowl performance, to me, might have gotten him back in about that third-round range.
What else can Garrett do, assuming he gets the invite to the Combine, Pro Day, top 30 visits, all that? How much more can he do to elevate his stock?
I think he can do more. If I was him, I would go out and throw at the Combine and continue to prove that he's healthy, right? I think that's going to be the biggest thing, because when you watched him throw during the season with that oblique injury, something just didn't look right. You know, Garrett Nussmeier's he's known as like a gunslinger, right? A guy who's not afraid to make any throw, and we just didn't see that throughout this season between the lack of pass protection and the injury. So go out there, throw well at the Combine, get on the whiteboard, because he's obviously a smart guy who can process the field well. I think he could really impress scouts and coaches behind the scenes, too.
Dalton Wasserman is our guest, Pro Football Focus. He's on Twitter at PFF_Dalton, if you want to give him a follow there. Any of the other LSU guys catch your eye this week?
I thought Aaron Anderson and Chris Hilton both ran some really good routes. I mean, you talk about Anderson, especially in the slot. There's so many of those guys that come out of, into the NFL draft every year as those crafty route runners, right? So I think he could find himself a day 3 selection there with his route running. And then, Barryon Brown obviously showed off the speed in spurts. I think the hands in some tougher contested situations could still use some work, but he's going to be really valuable, obviously, in special teams with the increase in kick returns and the new rules with the kickoff. I think Barryon Brown, too, is going to have some value added to a team with his speed.
There's a couple of guys that were supposed to play that didn't due to injury, with Halsey and Jack Pyburn. Any thoughts on those guys as they begin their pre-draft process?
Really like Halsey a lot, especially when you talk about a versatile safety with really good ball skills. He showed that even the year before last in Houston. When you talk about a guy who could be a single high safety, right now we have him on our draft board as about a mid-second round pick, so close to a top 50 guy there. I think Halsey is really, really good. And then Pyburn, look, it's a deep group of edge rushers, and he's a guy with a high motor, hustles every single play, and can just give you that D-line depth that every team is looking for, right? So I think 2 good, solid football players, but Halsey's definitely the headliner between the 2.
Dalton, with the rest of the week there in Mobile, any other players catch your eye, maybe who were, and not specifically just LSU guys, but guys you went in maybe a little unsure that you thought really helped themselves?
Look, this is a defensive draft, and it really, to me, was a very defensive group. You saw, especially in the early practices during the day, I thought the defensive line unit dominated. When you talk about a guy like Clemson's T.J. Parker, Lee Hunter, the interior defender from Texas Tech, right? Derek Moore from Michigan, Zion Young from Missouri. That's the most loaded group of talent in this draft is the defensive line, and a lot of those guys who are probably more like second and third round picks, they went out there and just absolutely dominated all week. I think that's the group that we're going to be really impressed with as we watch more of this tape, is this defensive line group.
What if you flip it and maybe guys who went to Mobile with maybe some lofty expectations maybe didn't perform as well as they had hoped?
I think one guy that stands out to me, probably the wide receiver from USC, Jacoby Lane. I just thought his route running wasn't as fluid, especially when you compare him to a guy of a similar build in Malachi Fields from Notre Dame, who was one of the standouts of the week. I think Lane is the guy who really needs to go to the Combine and run well, do well in the cone drills to prove that he's got the feet to win in the open field. There's no doubt about his size. He made a couple of great red zone catches in the end zone. He can catch those high balls. He can go up with the best of them, but I need his feet to be a little bit more fluid. I'm keeping a close eye on Jacoby Lane.
Dalton, I know your job there isn't necessarily specifically to look at teams and to scout players, but the Saints were there, and we're obviously here in Louisiana. There's a lot of people interested in what the Saints may do. Interior linemen, receivers, kind of what people are thinking that the Saints may target or may have been looking at. Any observation from those positions or any interactions with the Saints staff while you were there?
I didn't have any interactions necessarily, but I think when you talk about receiver depth, they didn't have a lot of the top guys down there, but even then, there's some players who really showed out. If you want a big 6'3", 6'4" X receiver, Malachi Fields from Notre Dame was outstanding. Missouri's Kevin Coleman is a shifty slot player who can give you some kick return value as well, kind of in the same way that Rashid Shaheed used to before he got traded to Seattle. So I think there's a lot of receivers to look at. Interior offensive line is interesting because I think there's a lot of good center prospects in this draft, but guard is kind of fluid depending on which guys are going to be moving from tackle to guard. There wasn't a whole lot of true guard prospects down there, and I feel like that's what the Saints need the most.
He is Dalton Wasserman, PFF. Get him on Twitter at PFF_Dalton. Was there in Mobile for the Senior Bowl all week. Busy time of year, man. We appreciate you for carving out a few minutes for us.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Yep, thank you. It is After Further Review. Brought to you by Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com is where you can go get your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. Hey, a week from Saturday, so we're less than 2 weeks from Valentine's Day. Remember, over at Supper Club, the entire week, you can celebrate Valentine's Day. Remember, Saturday the 14th, Valentine's Day is on Saturday. It's also the same day as Endymion. Like Erica and I will be down at the Endymion Ball that Saturday night on Valentine's Day. So if you're planning on heading to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, maybe you celebrate Valentine's earlier in the week. So get your reservations at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Look, I mean, if it's celebrating Valentine's Day, a birthday, an anniversary, a graduation, a promotion, or just because, man, Supper Club's an awesome option. Maybe you got a client in town, you want to close some business, you want to have a great meal, or after work, just continue the conversation at the bar. Open seating always at Supper Club at the bar. Pop on in. There's 14 bar stools, 7 bar top tables, or bar area tables, I should say, that are always open seating. So you can always pop on in, even if you don't have a reservation. Maybe have dinner at the bar, glass of wine, cocktail, great whiskey selection there. It's at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Get your reservations for Valentine's week. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks to Dalton Wasserman for joining us there. It's interesting to hear his take on Nuss, that he had probably dropped to a late day 3 pick, and maybe has crept back up now into a day 2 conversation. I mean, everyone sort of unanimously agrees Fernando Mendoza is not only the best quarterback in this draft, but likely to be the first pick of the Raiders to go number 1 overall. And there's kind of that question of who or what might be next. I saw a 2-round mock today from, I think it was from Matt Miller over at ESPN, where they had Mendoza 1, and the next quarterback off the board was Ty Simpson in round 2. So they only had one quarterback coming off the board in round 1. So, can Garrett get back into the conversation for the first round? I don't know. If we really take a team falling in love with him, it can happen. I mean, we saw Zach Wilson go sling it at a pro day and shot all the way up to the number 2 overall pick. So it just takes one team falling in love. I know it's an old cliche, but it is true. But it sounds like just getting out there, showing he's healthy and throwing the ball reminded a lot of teams of what Garrett was in 2024, and maybe he's jumped him back into a day 2 pick. So can maybe he climb into being a top 50 pick? Perhaps. But a lot of work still to do. But glad to see Nuss get out there and sling it and have a really good week. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll continue to roll along here. It was a really busy weekend all the way around. And, Lane Kiffin did hop on a bird and go to Houston this weekend for an interesting trip that I would like to knock around a little bit. So we'll do that as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Let's Rev, R-E-V, letsrev.com, letsrev.com. 70,000 Louisiana home and business owners trust Rev. You should as well. At Parish Construction and Roofing, we use Rev for our wireless internet, all of our wired audio, everything. Our automation, all of it. Here at Guarantee Media, we use Rev. The Moscona household will be Rev fiber customers on Wednesday. Finally got to finishing the fiber in our neighborhood. As soon as that was done, boom, we were switching. All fiber network super fast speeds, and again, local service. The all-fiber network is so critical. I mean, think about when the power goes out, storm comes. You don't have to worry about losing internet because it's buried under the ground. REV. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. It's where you can go to find out information. Let'sRev.com.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com. Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Saints quarterback coach Scott Tolzien did formally interview for the Steelers offensive coordinator job on Monday. Tom Pelissero was the first to report the interview. So we'll see what happens there. Remember, Tolzien was a quarterback on Green Bay's roster as backup, and when McCarthy was there. So we already saw Mike McCarthy hire Jari Evans, who was the Saints' assistant offensive line coach, to be the Steelers' offensive line coach. And now Scott Tolzien is getting an interview to be the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see if he gets the job. He is going for an interview. I do find it interesting, listening to, of course, Jay Kester and Matt Flynn host Off the Bench in the weekday mornings here on ESPN Baton Rouge. And Matt and Scott Tolzien were teammates in Green Bay for a time. And it was interesting, talking to Matt last week, coming off the Senior Bowl, where Tolzien, a lot of the Saints staffers were coaching at the Senior Bowl, and just talking about how he sort of always knew Tolzien would be a coach, or had that mind. And sometimes those opportunities, like the Senior Bowl, are opportunities for coaches like Tolzien to get to get that opportunity to be a play caller and to step up and have that opportunity sort of put on for the rest of the league. So I don't know. I don't have any real strong sentiment. Tolzien's never been an OC. I can't tell you if it would be a good hire or not. But they're really smart NFL people and football people who think he's a very smart offensive mind and guy. And we'll see what happens there. Of course, Doug Nussmeier is the Saints offensive coordinator. He's not going anywhere. Kellen Moore is your head coach. He's not going anywhere. So it's two former NFL quarterbacks. And one of the things that the Saints have touted is, and not bringing in a veteran quarterback, which is something I sort of advocated for, was that they got all these guys that are former quarterbacks on staff, which I guess that's one way to look at it. But I also give the example all the time, a guy like Breeze who always wanted that backup quarterback he trusted that he could sit with on the bench when he came to the sideline looking at the tablet and go over film and pick someone's brain. He wanted that sounding board. So, if that's important to a guy like Tyler Shuck, maybe they'll go that route eventually. But for now, we'll see what happens with Scott Tolzien, who did have his formal interview on Monday with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll let you know how it goes when we find out how it went. All right, it's After Further Review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Lane Kiffin on Saturday took a trip to Houston. And I continue to sort of just observe the way Lane Kiffin is working and trying to decipher a lot of how he's building his program through this sort of external observation and talking to folks that know him and have covered him or have been around him well. And there's a few observations when things like this happen. That trip to Houston, I was told, this was a fundraising trip where Lane, several assistants, several front office folks got on a plane, went to Houston, and met with a lot of LSU boosters and donors and alums and things like that. EJ Kuiper, who is the president CEO of the FMOL Health System, and you might remember EJ was on the committee to hire the coach. It was Verge and Scott Ballard and Carmouche and Ben Bordelon, and then obviously the new President Roos when he was hired, and EJ was on the committee. And so EJ shared on social a photo from this event at the Post Oak Hotel, which, by the way, Post Oak Hotel is where we did our show for the Bryant Awards a couple of weeks ago. Is gorgeous. That was the first time I'd ever been to Post Oak Hotel. It's Tillman Fertitta's property. I mean, Tillman's a billionaire. His Landry's offices are adjacent to the Post Oak Hotel. I mean, they have like Ferraris on display in the hotel. It is palatial. It is gorgeous. Anyway, well, you look at this photo, and you could see a lot of the particulars that are in it. I mean, you look left to right. I'll zoom for those who can't see, but there's Kiffin and Billy Glasscock. Standing next to Billy Glasscock is EJ Kuiper, and standing next to EJ is Clay Harris, who's LSU's chief revenue officer. Kevin Smith, LSU's running backs coach, is in the photo. We talked a little bit ago about retaining J.R. Belton. J.R. is in the far back corner there of the photo as well. So they took a lot of these power brokers to Houston on this fundraising trip. Because remember, the way LSU just made a massive investment into football. You don't need me to tell you that, but when we illustrate it, you had to go get $54 million in commitments to buy out Brian Kelly over the remainder of his deal. You had to get $91 million in commitments to pay Lane Kiffin over the life of his contract. And then you look at everything else they've done. Charlie Weiss is making $2.5 million. Blake Baker is making $3 million. We talked about the support staff, mentioned J.R. Belton, right? Well, you brought in Billy Glasscock. You brought in a lot of those support staffers from Ole Miss. Well, instead of getting rid of the people with the equivalent job title at LSU, they retain them and just have a senior executive player personnel director and then a player personnel director. So you retain them both. Point is, that is so expensive before we ever even start talking about paying the players. And I've gone through this before about how they were able to use 2025 rev share and 2026 rev share dollars. But on top of that, you have to have true third-party NIL deals that you can get through the clearinghouse. And I've explained how this is done too, where in the past where a booster might have written $1 million check to the collective, now instead of doing that, it's like, hey, write the check from your business as a marketing expense through NILSU Max, and maybe that $1 million isn't going to one NIL deal, but that $1 million could be broken up into 40 NIL deals across the football roster, maybe even other programs. Well, you make these commitments to these players, and sure, they're probably going to get like a lump sum signing bonus, but the rest of their contract is going to be paid out monthly or quarterly or however they've determined or dictated that it be paid out. And so you don't have to have all that money, that cash, the capital on hand now, but you got to go raise it. And there have been super generous donors, no doubt, that have stepped up already in a big way, but you got more to do. And it kind of dovetails into the conversation we had last week about men's basketball. Because when LSU lost last week to Mississippi State, I and many of you all just sort of assumed that this was going to be it for Matt McMahon. Like Verge Osbury said in the interview with The Advocate a few weeks back, that if they don't make the NCAA tournament, they're going to reevaluate everything. For all intents and purposes, I took that to mean make the tournament or you're not going to be around. Well, look, there's a handful of really significant boosters around LSU, many of them who you know, their names you know, and some of them whose names you don't. And I think it's important also to know that donor fatigue can be a real thing. Like what LSU just did for football, for this 2026 football roster, I don't think they're going to do that again in 2027. Like I don't think they're going to go spend over $40 million because this roster is over $40 million. I don't think they're going over $40 million in 2027. They may not have to because you probably have a lot of retention of this roster. You're not going to go have to sign 42 guys in the portal. But donor fatigue can be a real thing. So it's an important distinction to say, can you afford something? And are you willing to pay for something? Because those can be two very different answers. Like, can LSU go shake trees and ask donors for more money to buy out men's, $10 million to buy out Matt McMahon and his staff, and then $3.5, $4 million a year for a new coach and then their staff, and then go pay the roster as well? Like, can you? Sure. Are you going to have as eager a donor base, that those same handful of people that you keep going to, knocking on the door, that you just went and asked them to do this massive lift for football? Are they going to be willing to do it for basketball? I don't believe that answer is so cut and dry. And I know a lot of these people, and I've had conversations with them about it. And there is some hesitation about what they're willing to go spend to make a change in men's basketball right now. Now, there's also the component that you could have other donors step up. There could be people who are quiet, sitting on the sidelines right now, who, if things continue to deteriorate with the men's basketball team this season, they get to a point like they did with football after that embarrassing Texas A&M loss where Brian Kelly had lost support, and as a result, you had people willing to write checks. And at that point, Brian Kelly's fate was done. And the same may happen with this basketball team. Or maybe DJ Thomas gets healthy, they go on a little streak here to end the season, and they decide to go retain Matt McMahon for another year because there isn't the appetite to go spend. I'm not saying definitively that no matter what happens throughout the remainder of this basketball season, Matt McMahon's back. I'm not saying that. But I'm also telling you that if you think that story has been written, it hadn't been written yet. And a day like Saturday with Lane Kiffin going to Houston on a fundraising trip speaks to that, appealing to more donors, to new donors, to try to continue to get even more support from new and different places to help fund what they just did and what is to come. And the other thing I'll remind you is every dollar you go raise to put into a big pile and light a match, to just burn it, to buy a coach, that's money you're not spending to help you win. That's money you're not spending on your roster to help you win. That's money you're not spending on facilities or whatever the case may be, support staff. That's money you're just taking a match to. So there's going to be some real tough questions that'll be had at the end of this basketball season. And we'll watch it. But I'm here to tell you it's just not as cut and dried as you may think it is today. We'll continue to follow it. All right, it's After Further Review. We are glad to have you aboard with us here. Brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Remember, you can always go to firstsouthland.com. They got an awesome resource, the Ultimate Land Buyer's Guide on their homepage. It is a totally free resource. If you're thinking of buying land, be it agriculture, be it your recreational property, be it 100 acres to build your family's dream home, make sure you get the Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide for free at firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. Tomorrow morning, I'll be wheels up out to the Bay Area. Really looking forward to it. So we'll travel tomorrow. Tuesday, we'll get into San Francisco. We'll get set up and settled and everything there. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, AFR from Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Very, very much looking forward to it. Ross Jackson will be there as well for LouisianaSports.net. So he'll be on the media shuttle every day up to San Jose or up to Stanford to go to go to all the media, or Santa Clara to go to all the media availability with the teams while I'll be at Radio Row in San Francisco. But we're looking forward to bringing that coverage. We might wonder why we're not there right now. We did it a year ago, the full week in New Orleans, and what we learned was Monday was really slow, and Tuesday was a little better, but still slow. Wednesday was kaboom. Everybody was there by Wednesday. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were this big run-up crescendo to the weekend. So we figured, learn from last year. Let's go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and have 3 really big days from Radio Row. So very much looking forward to doing that and leaving tomorrow morning, and we'll be there for AFR Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from Radio Row at the Super Bowl, presented by our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health Partners of LSU Athletics. They're our sponsor for all of our coverage from Super Bowl 60, and could not be more excited about it. All right, it's After Further Review. Quick break. Musadoo Tigers and the Pros. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I was at lunch today, and Glow Resources came up, not because of all the awesome work they do, but because of their office. Because their office is awesome as well. Like their physical space on Perkins in Baton Rouge, right near Pennington. They're at Perkins in Quail Oak, right near Pennington. It's honestly really cool just to go in there, just to see the office. It's pretty phenomenal. And man, when you walk in, one of the things you'll notice about Glow Resources, so let's say you're a business owner and you're having trouble finding the right people in your business, skilled blue-collar labor, any office job, from entry-level office assistants all the way up to the C-suite. Glow Resources taps into their network to find the perfect people for those jobs to make you the most efficient possible. Go have the meeting at Glow Resources just so you can see how cool their space is. And you'll understand how fun they are to work with. One of the reasons people love doing business with Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's 2026 and you're thinking about your future. College, workforce, tech school? This could help clear it up for you. According to a 2025 Georgetown University study, ITI Technical College ranked as the #1 college in all of Louisiana for return on investment. So the better return on your dollar for your education begins here. Call us or visit us online to start your new career or to get the life that you've always wanted for your family. ITI Technical College. We're in the better life business.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, and glad you're hanging out with us here. Speaking of shutters, also shades over at Relief Windows. I've been telling you about it, but now they are offering custom fabric roller shades. Beautiful way to offer effortless light control and a gorgeous streamlined look. Check them out. They're all custom. It's Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding, shutters, and now interior shades as well. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, the Pro Bowl games start this week, and the flag football games this weekend. They changed that, obviously. Normally, it was this past week. Yeah.
Obviously, that's obvious.
New change. Yeah, and Joe Burrow's going to be there now. How about that? Joey B, Pro Bowler, added to the AFC roster. That was on Sunday.
So it's course, Joey B and Shadur.
And Joe Flacco is the other AFC quarterback.
Man.
How about that?
Remember when the Pro Bowl was cool?
I was about to say, has it ever meant less to be a Pro Bowler? Shadur Sanders threw 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Joe Burrow missed 9 games. Now, we're happy for Joey B, though.
He had a toe.
He's there. He had a toe. Bad toe, man.
Bad toe.
That happened in week 2 of the season. He got the toe.
He had a toe.
Missed 9 weeks. Josh Allen, Drake May, and Justin Herbert. Those are the original AFC selections. None of them are going to play. So Joey B joins, as we just mentioned, Shadur Sanders and Joe Flacco. All from the AFC North. All from the state of Ohio. The AFC quarterbacks. So shout out. Cam Thomas, 23 minutes off the bench, contributed 12 points for the Brooklyn Nets. They got destroyed yet again. But he shot 50% from 3, also doled out 3 assists. And a quick note on some NBA action tonight. A lot of former Tigers Rockets, Atari Eason. Timberwolves and Nas Reed. And Trinidad Watford in the 76ers. We'll have a full recap tomorrow. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Hey, we're presented by Shaw Bills. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Quick reminder, was talking to Martin over at Shaw Bills last week. The Youngsville location, they are looking for a technician. They're hiring. So if you're an experienced technician, they want to talk to you. Shaw Bills is awesome, man. Family owned and operated since 1968. It's incredible, man. They're coming up on 60 years now over at Shaw Bills. But they have great culture, excellent benefits, and they have a monster bonus program. 5-day work week. So if you're interested, if you're a tech with experience, check out our friends at Shaw Bills. If you live in or around Youngsville or interested in moving to Youngsville, they need to talk to you over at Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family at Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways that you can get involved in the show. We will be on Radio Row for the Super Bowl on starting on Wednesday. So we'll count you down to a Super Bowl 60 with the Patriots and the Seahawks. I'm really, really excited to get to tell some of the LSU stories. And while we're all, look, Will Campbell obviously would be the headliner of the group. You know, what Caleb Chasson and Kayshon Boutte have done in sort of resurrecting, reigniting their career is awesome. Really excited for those guys this week out there in the Bay Area.
After further review.
I was having a conversation at lunch today, and we're talking to our friends at the Spine Center who are about to come on as a new partner on our show. And it was so interesting because their office is there off of Bluebonnet, the same building where the Williamson Eye Center is. And I couldn't help because I actually started drawing these parallels because one of the biggest reservations a lot of people have when it comes to a refractive procedure, it's what I had. It was the trepidation of having surgery on your eyes. And it does make a lot of people nervous. A lot of you have told me this, and candidly, I was in that number too, which is why it was so important to have the consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson and to learn every step of that process and procedure, which really puts you at ease. And I spend so much time trying to push people towards this because it's life-changing. It's the Williamson Eye Center.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. When it comes to the future of quarterback Matthew Stafford, Rams coach Sean McVay is cautiously optimistic. McVay asked whether he expects Stafford to return in 2026, said he doesn't have a timetable for a decision, but is hopeful he'll be back. The Rams set to begin what McVay said will be an extensive search for their next offensive coordinator after Mike LaFleur was hired as the Cardinals' new head coach. Another change expected for Arizona this offseason, moving on from quarterback Kyler Murray. And he will find another team, believes ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano.
Maybe he's the guy Minnesota brings in to provide some level of competition for J.J. McCarthy. Maybe he's a guy that the Browns look at. They just hire a head coach in Todd Monken who's worked with a mobile quarterback, obviously, the last couple of years in Baltimore. So I do think there are plenty of places where he could land and get a shot, at the very least, to be the starter next year.
ESPN's David Purdum's reporting an arbitrator ruled in favor of Heat guard Terry Rozier in a salary dispute with the NBA that arose after he was federally indicted in a gambling investigation. His salary, which had been held in escrow, will be released.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Busy weekend for LSU. The 2026 traditional February signing day is Wednesday. So we know LSU has already inked their high school class with the early signees. But they're going to have another, at least one more commitment that'll sign on Wednesday. Of course, they've already added Amari Peterson, and then Jackson Williams from Archbishop Shaw, who was a late commit, 3-star defensive back. He'll be on board as well. There's one more worth keeping an eye on, and we mentioned this earlier in the show, and I got word yesterday and tweeted it out that Adrian Lamb has visited LSU this weekend. Now, he's a JUCO offensive lineman. He was a redshirt freshman this season at the Georgia Military College, which is a JUCO. He's 6'5", 290, and he's a 3-star in the JUCO composite. And he's got offers from Alabama and South Carolina and Auburn and Georgia. I mean, some big-time programs. And he would be, if he picks LSU, he would be a 2026 ad. This would not be a portal ad. He would count to the 2026 signing class, signing on Wednesday for the early signing period if they add him. So, I know we mentioned it during the portal cycle, where one of the really impressive things about Kiffin and Glasscock and this front office is sort of their evaluation process. And do you trust their evaluations? It's easy to stroke a big check for Jordan Seaton and know what you're getting. It's easy to stroke a big check for Sam Levitt and Hussein Longstreet, these guys that are, at Prince William on Mielen, these guys at the top of the board, like proven college athletes that are going to be high NFL draft picks. Like it doesn't take a lot of scouting. Like you see it. They're great. Everyone wants them. Where do they go? Can you afford them? All that stuff. But I'm super intrigued when you look up and down this portal class, when you look at guys like Jaquan Sprinkle from NC Central, and Jacoby Jones, a JUCO offensive lineman coming in. Because those are the guys you look and you say, okay, they've done their due diligence. And it was so interesting also talking to Joey McGuire when we were at the Bryant Awards a few weeks ago. And asked him point blank. Because he sort of mentioned when he sees Kiffin or LSU offer, boom, they immediately offer that player. I'm like, so you do like sight unseen, you see LSU, you see Lane Kiffin offer a prospect, like you're throwing out the offer. He basically said, yeah, absolutely. It was fascinating. I think we all maybe think that, but that's on the record confirmation from a head football coach that was just in the college football playoff. So I think sometimes they like when some of these pursuits fly under the radar, because as soon as it's out there that they're pursuing a guy, other schools are going to get in the mix. Well, this is an interesting one because you're talking about an offensive lineman. Again, and by the way, LSU's offensive line coach, Eric Wolford, tweeted a photo on Sunday night from Rufino's. So I think we could all assume that the LSU offensive line coach, Eric Wolford, was at Rufino's with Adrian Lamb on a visit. We'll see if they close, but I think it matters when you get the last visit. So Adrian Lamb's last visit before he's going to sign on Wednesday was in Baton Rouge at LSU, and by all accounts, it went really well. So we'll see. Now, there were two other pretty significant visitors on campus, and when Shay's here on Tuesday, I'm sure dive deeper, but Jaden Bryant, who is the number one edge in South Carolina, Rivals has him as the number one edge in the country. In the composite, he's the number 5 edge in the country for 2027. So the composite rankings, he's the number 34 overall player, the 5th best edge, but the Rivals rankings has him as the best edge in the country for 2027. He's already an LSU commit. He was on campus this weekend. He's from South Carolina, and he's already committed to LSU for the class of 2027. So Jaden Bryant was on campus this weekend. And then Joshua Dobson was also on campus. And Dobson is a 5-star corner, the number 1 cornerback in the country for 2027. And earlier today, Steve Wiltfong put in a Fong bomb a projection for Dobson to end up at LSU. Now, you got a long way to go on this one. These are 2027 guys. So these guys won't sign until next December. So long way to go. But he's a 6'1", 170-pound cornerback out of North Carolina. He's a 5-star. In the composite, he's the number 5 overall prospect. So you're talking about a stud, the type of dude that Corey Raymond is used to landing. And why you brought Corey Raymond back here is to get guys like DJ Pickett, to get guys like Joshua Dobson on board, to get Mansour Delane out of the transfer portal and turn him into the top cornerback in the country. So mission accomplished for Corey Raymond, who continues to keep building DBU, but Joshua Dobson's the other one worth keeping an eye on. So those three were pretty significant names to keep an eye on from over this weekend. Shea will be here on Tuesday, sort of a precursor to the Wednesday signing period, and we'll see what else Shea can add from all of this. That'll be on Tuesday. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Man, we had KKDL ball on Friday. I was the Grand Marshal, and the committee surprised the members of the Royal Court with a gift, a small token, and I was fired up because when they handed it to me, it was in a Lee Michaels box. Honest to goodness, this was Friday. And so I was fired up to get a gift in the red box. And it was a beautiful fleur-de-lis lapel pin with KKDL and the year that is served on the Royal Court. So, and forever and always, if you go to a KKDL event, you're supposed to wear that to signify you served on the Royal Court one year. So I was thrilled, and obviously I was also thrilled that it came from Lee Michaels. Now, look, Valentine's Day is a week from Saturday, so we're under 2 weeks, guys. If you've not gotten her anything yet, go to Lee Michaels. They take care of it. They'll take care of everything, whatever your budget. Thinking to pop in the question, beautiful selection of diamond engagement rings, but it's so much more than just the diamond engagement rings. There's earrings and necklaces and watches and pendants and bracelets and everything you can imagine for any budget. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Remember, if you want to, you can jump aboard. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show if you so choose, so feel free to do that. I did mention earlier, and if you missed it, last hour, Dalton Wasserman was here from Pro Football Focus, and he spent the week in Mobile, Senior Bowl, so we talked about Nuss and all the good stuff. Well, there is a post-Senior Bowl 2-round mock draft that Matt Miller from ESPN put out. So, obviously, it's notable for Saints and notable for LSU, a couple of Tigers in that draft. We'll tell you who when we come back. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Thinking of selling your home? Call Darren James. Get your home sold. That's simple. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. My goodness, I was on Facebook last week and looked at Darren's page, and it was a day last week where he got like 10 awards. It was insane. Top producer in the state from LPT Realty, top team, top everything. Look, the bottom line is Darren James sells more homes than anyone, and he guarantees he'll sell yours. He calls it his guaranteed sale program. Sit down with Darren, agree to a price and a deadline. If he doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. What do you got to lose? Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, where you can find out what your home is valued with their home value tool, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
At Hood Dental Care, giving back and spreading smiles is what we love most. This Valentine's Day, we're inviting you to help us change someone's life with our Valentine's Day Smile Giveaway. Do you know someone who deserves a smile makeover? Nominate them today. Just visit the Hood Dental Care Facebook page and fill out the entry form. Submissions are open now through February 13th. One special winner will be chosen and announced on Valentine's Day. It's the Hood Dental Care Valentine's Day Smile Giveaway. Good luck!
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, rolling along here, 5 o'clock hour. Glad you're hanging out with us. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Alexandria, Lake Charles, wherever you may be, WBTR, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us here every single day on After Further Review. We're fired up to be here. Busy time, exciting time as well with baseball. Season less than 2 weeks away from first pitch on Friday the 13th. Women's basketball on a heater. Men's basketball, a lot of work to do. And, of course, it'll be the February signing day for Lane Kiffin and his staff coming up on Wednesday. So we'll see how that continues to roll along. And we're moving through the NFL offseason really for 30 of the 32 teams. This week is obviously exciting. It's Super Bowl week, and looking forward to doing shows in San Francisco Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. But for the other 30 NFL teams right now, their focus is on the draft and the future of their organization, trying to get to be one of the two teams playing at the end of the season. And so the Senior Bowl was a big part of that this past week in Mobile. And then after Senior Bowl, we'll roll into the combine and start to get into pro days. And, of course, in March, you'll have the start of the league year, so it'll be free agency. They've done really a brilliant job, the NFL has, of making their product a 12-month product. So it's going to be interesting as we roll through mock drafts. And Matt Miller has put out a mock draft here, and he's from ESPN. And this is a post-Senior Bowl mock draft. And, of course, now that we know all the underclassmen that'll be included in the draft and now post-Senior Bowl, what we might have learned. The thing that just seems to be clearer and clearer is that the Raiders are very likely going to take Fernando Mendoza number 1 overall. That's who Matt Miller mocks here to the Raiders. Remember, if you missed it over the weekend, the Raiders, the report is, have agreed with Clint Kubiak to be their next head coach. Similar to what happened with the Saints a year ago with Kellen Moore, he can't formally accept or they can't formally offer until the season's over. So it can't be until after the Super Bowl that the Raiders and Kubiak consummate this deal. But it seems like Kubiak will go from being the Seahawks OC to the Raiders head coach, and they'll very likely draft Fernando Mendoza. It was interesting because Ross Jackson wrote about this at LouisianaSports.net earlier today, and it was an interesting sort of callback because several months ago, Derek and David Carr on their podcast mentioned sort of offhand how cool it would be if Derek Carr had the opportunity to play and finish his career in Las Vegas with the Raiders if Clint Kubiak ended up becoming a head coach, which ultimately he did. So this has sort of been unearthed as well from when they did this podcast back on January the 5th. So it's been about a month ago that David and Derek Carr did this. And you talked about, like, they literally had this conversation a month ago about if Clint Kubiak became the Raiders' next head coach and if maybe Derek Carr, who played under Kubiak in New Orleans a year ago, would reunite and come out of retirement. And the quote was, yeah, it would be awesome. How awesome. You start singing I'm Coming Home. If you get Clint, maybe. Anyway. But Ross did a good job of explaining why this would be unlikely. First and foremost, what we just talked about with Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza is likely going to be the first overall pick. So Carr wouldn't likely go to the Raiders where they just use the first overall pick on a quarterback. It's also worth mentioning that Geno Smith is still on the roster and is guaranteed $18.5 million by the Raiders next year. So, in theory, you have both Mendoza, your rookie first-round draft pick, number 1 overall pick, and already your veteran at $18.5 million. What's more, the Saints still have Derek Carr's player rights. So if, let's say, even hypothetically in this wild world scenario, the Raiders wanted to sign Derek Carr, they would have to trade New Orleans for his rights. So the Raiders would have to give the Saints something of value to get Derek Carr to go be their backup or to push Fernando Mendoza or maybe Geno Smith or however that would go. I don't know. But just worth filing away because that wacky what if that they played out a month ago actually played out with Clint Kubiak getting the Raiders head coaching job. So that's one in theory worth watching. So all that, again, Miller has Mendoza going number 1 overall. And a lot of this are the names that we're going to expect to see at the top of the draft. Arvell Reese, 2 to the Jets. Francis Mauigoa, the offensive tackle from Miami, 3 to Arizona. Ruben Bain, the edge from Miami, 4 to the Titans. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, 5 to the Giants. The Browns at 6, taking Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle from Utah. Caleb Downs, 7 to Washington. And the thing that I just absolutely loathe, but everyone keeps writing, Jeremiah Love. I don't love it. I loathe it. I don't love it. I loathe it. Jeremiah Love, 8 to the Saints. You know, no team tips their hand before the draft. I understand wholly why a lot of these outlets continue to project Jeremiah Love to New Orleans. Alvin Kamara's 31. He's old. Injury prone. Declining. The only other running back Chav is Audric Estime, who's an undrafted free agent, and a 6th-round pick that used on Devin Neal. Like, could you use an explosive playmaker at running back? Absolutely. Yes. 100%. Not even a question. The Saints need running back help. So, why not take the best running back in the draft? Because I can't get past taking a running back with a top 10 pick. You know, I just think of a guy like, there's just so much value to be had at that position later in the draft. When you think about even New England with Travion Henderson. I mean, I'm looking here at Mel Kiper's top running backs. He's got Katron Allen from Penn State as the 5th best running back in this draft. You can get great value at running back outside of round 1. What you're not going to find after you get past 8 overall, you're not in round 2 or 3 going to find a cornerback like Mansour Delane. You're not going to find an elite edge rusher like if Ruben Bain is there at 8. Those guys don't exist later in the draft. Are there sleepers that hit and have great careers? Yes. But not the slam dunk that you should be getting when you're taking a player 8 overall. Again, I'm not downplaying Jeremiah Love. He's outstanding. I'm downplaying the value of the running back position at 8 overall. That's the problem I have. A couple of the other notables here. He does have Mansour Delane going 10 overall to the Cincinnati Bengals. So, look, I mean, maybe Bengals go edge rusher if they're not able to re-sign Trey Hendrickson, but he's got Delane going 10 overall, the first cornerback off the board. That's it in the first round for LSU guys. And when you go into round 2 and what the Saints are looking at with the 42nd overall pick, them going back with an offensive weapon and taking Antonio Williams, the wide receiver from Clemson. Incidentally, Omar Cooper, the wide receiver from Indiana, 1 pick later to Miami. And you're right, Shuck could be the real deal at quarterback. It's time to build around him. Williams could be the number 2 receiver the Saints need opposite Chris Olave. Love that. If you decide to go Antonio Williams at 42 or any equivalent top-tier wide receiver at 42, I'm all on board with it. If you're not taking a top receiver at 8. If you think the best receiver in the draft is available at 8 and you take him, I'm pumped. If not, you get a cornerback or an edge rusher at 8, great. And you take a receiver at 42, whoever you feel is the best one on the board, love it. I'm all good with that. There's one other LSU player that comes off the board in round 2 in this 2-round mock draft, and it's A.J. Halsey. He's got A.J. Halsey, the safety, going 57 overall to the Chicago Bears. So, this is going to be a draft class for LSU that I think could reach double-digit players. It's just going to be depth, not necessarily the high-end guys like the 2020 draft where you had the handful of first-rounders. But Delane round 1, Halsey at 57, and you would suspect as you get through day 2 and 3, you'd have a whole herd of LSU Tigers coming off the board after that. All right, it's After Further Review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. A couple of segments ago, Jimmy will be here for Otterlocks in about 20 minutes from right now. Remember, you can email us, tweet us, or text your question, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We are brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. It's Parish Construction and Roofing, which I would highly recommend, if you don't already, to follow Parish Construction and Roofing on social media. Because today, we put out a post with a date. February 8th, 2026. That's it. That's the post. And I can tell you that tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday, subsequent, as we count down to February the 8th, we will have subsequent posts relative to that date. So make sure you're following Parish Construction and Roofing on social media if you're not already, because we will, on our social media on February the 8th, have a very significant announcement that you are going to love. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to wait till February the 8th. That is what they call a tease. And we'll tell you after the break. Not really. I'm not going to tell you. But parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Hey, listen, if with all the bad weather, the cold, the freeze, everything, you had any issues with your roof, we'd love to help you out. Had a call from Moscona, Mississippi. Of course, we'll do work there. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, all over the state of Louisiana. Repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, do it all at Parish Construction and Roofing. Gutters, soft wash, do everything. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing. All right, it is After Further Review, y'all. When I got a quick break, and we'll roll along on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
Man, it was so fun on Friday being a part of the KKDL ball. Actually, one of the big events that we had in this KKDL countdown to the event was one of the presentations was actually at Renaissance Baton Rouge on Bluebonnet. And I'm telling you, really doesn't matter what type of event you're hosting. If it's a Mardi Gras ball, if it's a fundraiser, if it's an award banquet, if it's a wedding reception, Renaissance Baton Rouge can host whatever event you have. Maybe you're having a board meeting. Maybe you want to leave the confines of the office and do something a little more fun. Maybe you live out of town, you're going to be in Baton Rouge, you want to have your board meeting. You can do it at Renaissance Baton Rouge. They have all the amenities at the hotel, and they have private boardrooms with all the connectivity that you need for all of your technology. They can have your meals in there as well. It's right there in Bluebonnet at Renaissance Baton Rouge. Bluebonnet near I-10 across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Road. Check them out. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure...
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I'll get to Otterlocks here in about 15 minutes from right now. Jimmy will be here. If you missed it earlier, announced the Saints are one of 8 international games for 2026. The Saints will be playing the Browns in Paris. The projected date on that is October the 25th. Saints do lose a home game. And some have mentioned that the Saints issued a prorated refund for that game to season ticket holders, which, I mean, of course, it's the right thing to do. But competitively, it's the novelty is cool of getting to play the game in Paris. It'll be the first ever game in Paris in the regular season. But the disadvantage for New Orleans is you lose a home game in a year where you were going to play 9 home games and 8 road games. Remember, with the 17-game schedule now, every team is going to play 9 at home, 8 on the road, and then flip 8 on the road, 9 at home. So this was the year in 26, the Saints were going to have 9 home games. Well, now one of those home games is in Paris, so you have to travel for it. So the fans lose a home game, and the team also has the disadvantage of not only having to travel, but travel overseas. So competitively, not great. Novelty is cool, but not an awesome thing all the way around for the 2026 New Orleans Saints. Super Bowl coming up this weekend. You know that we'll be wheels up tomorrow to to the Bay Area. Do shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Mike McDonald, during his Super Bowl media availability, did talk about Clint Kubiak, who now has been named or is expected to be named the next head coach of the Raiders.
Well, I think the thing that I appreciate the most about Clint is he's a team player. It's all what's best for the team all the time, and he takes a lot of pride in that. That is a team effort. So he'd be the first to, say that the rest of his staff does a great job, and the players are the ones that make it come to life. So I think there's the humility behind how he operates, creates an environment where you're getting all those positive aspects for everybody involved.
Pretty meteoric rise for Clint Kubiak. You came into New Orleans a season ago, and it was all the wide zone running scheme, and we were all really excited about it, replacing Sneaky Pete. The first time we were going to get a look at a different offense in New Orleans that wasn't in some way interwoven to the Sean Payton offense with Pete Carmichael. And started great. We know what happened. He had injuries that really derailed the season. But Kubiak, the success he's had this year in Seattle with that offense and with Sam Darnold, I think is certainly validating to him and his ability as an offensive mind and a play caller, which is why he now has the opportunity to be the head coach of the Raiders. I'm going to be fascinated by that matchup on Sunday, where we're looking at that Seattle offense, which has been so dynamic and so explosive, going against this New England defense, which Mike Vrabel has playing at an elite level, and naturally with guys like K'Lavon Chaisson defensively, you kind of keep a closer and keener eye on it because of the tie-ins there. I've never been a Patriots hater. With all the winning that franchise did with Brady and Belichick, I know a lot of people grew to hate them because that's just natural in sports. People tend to loathe success. You loathe dynasties. You love to loathe them. It's true with any dynasty. If it was the Bulls in the 90s or the Yankees or whomever it may be, people I'm sure are getting some of that in MLB right now with the Dodgers. But Alabama football, whatever it is, people loathe dynasties. You love to hate teams that win a lot. I never really hated the Patriots. I can't say that I was a fan, but I'd certainly admired and respected so much what they were able to build and do. Brady and Belichick, the understanding that we were watching the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL. And it's pretty remarkable to be able to say you saw that, you lived through it. So that was always my approach with it. I know people who wanted to hate him for Deflategate or Spygate. I just assume everybody's cheating. Like everybody's trying to get an edge. And, the old saying, but by the grace of God, there go I. I mean, if someone wanted to peel back the layers, it could have been your team in the crosshairs. We all lived it with New Orleans, with Bountygate. I mean, every team, every locker room had some type of incentive-based thing like that. The NFL zeroed in on New Orleans. And so I guess all that to say, I've never hated New England, but I've never had a reason to cheer for them. This is a game where I kind of look at, I'm kind of pulling for New England because I'm really attracted to the storylines of the LSU guys, where Kayshon Boutte was just so awesome as a freshman at LSU. And you had the 300-yard receiving game against Ole Miss in the COVID year in the rain. And then in 2021 was unstoppable and then breaks his leg at Kentucky and was just never the same. And he wrote a piece in the Players Journal where he talked about being addicted to gambling and sports betting. And to get through this now at a time where he's still such a young man. I mean, Kayshon, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking it up right now. I think Kayshon's 25 years old. I'm sorry. He's 23 years old. Kayshon's 23. So you're talking about such a young man who has so much of his life and his career ahead of him. He's finally living up to the potential that made him a projected first-round pick during his time at LSU, which is awesome to see. K'Lavon Chaisson was a first-round pick, and he just landed in a spot in Jacksonville that didn't suit him. And it's always interesting when there's a player with immense talent who doesn't realize it, but getting in the right situation is sort of that magic unlock. If you want a comp for New Orleans, look at Demario Davis. I mean, Demario Davis was an afterthought with the Browns and the Jets. I mean, two worst franchises in the league. And the Saints bring him here in 2018, and all he's done is develop himself into the best free agent signing in the history of this organization, not named Drew Brees. And it took being in the right situation, the right place, the right time for all that to come together, in Dennis Allen's defense, in which he's carried on now, even though DA is gone. So, man, I see a lot of that in Caleb. I'm not telling you he's going to be a perennial all-pro guy, but he's become a very productive player there with Mike Vrabel, who said, yep, I know what to do with him. Braden Swinson's a guy that was on the practice squad, and they signed him to the active roster to keep him from getting poached. It's and then of course there's Will Campbell, who was the 4th pick of the draft and was really good early in this season, had the injury which limited him, and playing injured and playing now in his 22nd game of the season when you include the 3 preseason games. You look and you go, okay, like the rookie wall is a real thing that people talk about. And so Will Campbell having played 3 preseason games, 17 regular season games, and now, 3 playoff games. You're 23 games, about to play his 24th game, which is wild when you're used to playing a dozen. Basically playing double the amount of games that you're used to playing. So you couple all that together, and yeah, it's been a little rough for Campbell here throughout the playoffs, but still an outstanding young player and has a chance as a rookie to win a Super Bowl. So I don't love the Patriots. I don't like the Patriots, but I don't hate the Patriots. I don't cheer against them because they won so much with Brady and Belichick. Again, I generally sat in awe of how great they were and grateful for the opportunity to see that level of dominance. But in this instance, I'm kind of pulling hard for the Patriots. I would love to see those guys win. Yeah, I mean, there is, of course, an LSU connection with Anthony Bradford on the offensive line for Seattle. But, man, the 4 guys in New England, in particular, when we talk about Kayshawn and Caleb Chasson, who have sort of resurrected their careers as Will Campbell's has taken off. It's just really exciting, man, to see this opportunity for those guys. So very much hoping to get an opportunity to catch up with them while we're in the Bay Area for our coverage of Super Bowl 60 presented by Our Lady of the Lake, a championship health partner of LSU Athletics. We appreciate our friends so much at the Lake who are making that trip possible for all of our coverage, both at 104.5 ESPN and at LouisianaSports.net. So make sure you're following all along here this week as we give you coverage of Super Bowl 60s. We'll be in the Bay Area tomorrow. All right, it's After Further Review. We are glad to have you aboard with us. Love telling you about our friends at Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. That's Arco Power Systems. Tell you about them all the time. And they've been an awesome partner, and it's just such an impressive business that they've built at Arco Power Systems, a leader in our region. And what we're talking about is industrial Generac generator power. We're talking about offices all over, from Baton Rouge and Bossier and Harvey and Lake Charles and Mandeville and Mobile, Alabama, and San Antonio and LaPorte and Houston and Dallas and up to Little Rock. Man, you draw a big old circle in that entire area. If your business, your commercial facility, your industrial facility is in that area, Arco Power Systems, they are your standby energy solution. It's energy for your business. Turnkey solutions where they can install a standby industrial Generac generator, service it, rent, lease that generator to you. It's Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. Okay, y'all. It is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Remember, if you missed anything AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf, we did open the show today with kind of a catch-up of the CSC investigation. I can tell you I did reach out to some folks at LSU today, did not have an update. That's the report from The Athletic on Friday. If you missed it, what it boils down to, it's kind of a giant nothing burger. The Athletic, I think, really did a disservice to their readers by publishing a photo of an LSU helmet, including Lane Kiffin and Damon Williams in the story. It has nothing to do with LSU football. As I understand, it's a single athlete where apparently there was an agent involved in a failure to report deals, and maybe there was even some miscommunication because the thought was that the deals were maybe some trade involved and it was less than $600 of value. So The CSC is looking into that, but it's a giant nothing burger. We gave you some details on that. Bernard Gooden was here in hour number 1. Always great energy. Love that conversation. Dalton Wasserman from Pro Football Focus was here. He was in Mobile last week for the Senior Bowl, so we went into all of his takeaways, including Garrett Nussmeier, who thinks has kind of jumped into probably a day 2 pick, probably a third-round guy right now with still more room with Pro Day and with the Combine and all that still ahead that can continue to elevate. So really cool opportunity there for Garrett this weekend, being the MVP of the Senior Bowl. So remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Let's knock out a final break of the show. When we come back, Jimmy will be here for Otterlocks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
So we are thawing out. It is 57 degrees right now. Hallelujah. Thank God. Can't take the 20s anymore. Clegg's Nursery, as they thaw out, they're ready. It is time, y'all. Spring hopefully is right around the bend, but it is time to just plant something, y'all. We are in planting season in anticipation of spring. So get by Clegg's Nursery. You really need to get those fruit trees in the ground now. You're thinking about planting shrubs, you need to get them in the ground now. If you need soil or mulch, bag or bulk, if you need any of your gardening supplies, equipment, decor, lawn and garden decor, they got you as well. And of course, the best selection with the friendliest staff and most knowledgeable staff, it's Clegg's Nursery. Y'all, bypass the big box stores. Support a great local business that supported us for decades. It's Clegg's Nursery.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Windows door siding, they do shutters too, and now interior shades as well. Check it out, reliefwindows.com, reliefwindows.com. Okay, one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matthew? How you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome, man. I'll be wheels up to San Francisco tomorrow, heading out to
cool.
Radio Row for shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Good. Safe travels, my man. Everything in San Francisco, not by the stadium, right? All the festivities.
Yeah, so the teams are practicing at Stanford and San Jose, I think.
San Jose State.
So they're they're farther north, but Radio Row and all the media stuff is in San Francisco. But I say that. Like Radio Row and some of the events are in San Francisco, but actually the media has to go to the teams for the media avail with the team. So they're like bus an hour to go do like the media availability at practice and after practice and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. All right, let's get to it. A light schedule as it usually is on Monday night. We'll have a lot more of a menu tomorrow in Wednesday, so we won't be able to do any of those alt-line parlays. First game, we go on to the Southland, and we know that Will Wade's crew has dominated the Southland the last couple of years. Bill Armstrong doing a nice job, but they're not in first place in the Southland. That is Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin has a game lead on them, 10-1 in the league. They're on a loss in Lake Charles at McNeese State. Here's the return trip tonight. Not only that, but Stephen F. Austin is a smooth 16-4 against the spread, one of the top ATS marks in all of college basketball. Catching points at home, wrong team's favored in this one, so we're taking Stephen F. Austin plus the points.
Okay. Stephen F. Austin plus 2.5 at home. Is that it?
It was 3.5 earlier today when I gave it to Hunt. It's at 2.5. Still recommend it. So
Okay.
I'll even like the money line as well. And then late game on the ESPN doubleheader in the Big 12. Texas Tech traveled to Orlando to take on Central Florida. They lose there, so they're coming home where they're really, really tough against Kansas, who won against BYU, which many think might be the top two. It featured the top two draft picks in this summer's NBA draft. DeMonsa for BYU and Peterson for Kansas. Kansas rolled out to a big lead at half. Peterson played 2 minutes to start the second half. He set out the last 17 plus. And Dills just don't know about his injury, his cramping, his ankle. We don't know. Who knows in this era of where a guy's going to be could be the number one pick in the draft. Who knows? Some load man, I don't know. But I know one thing: Texas Tech is ready to bounce back. Kansas up from a big win on Saturday. We're going to lay the point. Still 4.5. When I gave it to Hunt earlier, it remains at 4.5 at home in Lubbock.
All right, Stephen F. Austin catching points at home was 3.5. It's 2.5 now. Maybe just a little sprinkle on the money line as well. And then Texas Tech minus 4.5 against the Jayhawks. Any early thoughts on Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, we talked about it today. As much as good as Seattle's defense has been, they have given up the most receptions to running backs in the entire league this year.
Okay.
Maybe it's something you do. You run draws and screens when you're having pressure, which they bring a lot of pressure, but it's something that, especially to try and get a struggling Drake May going, that we're going to try and look at, including laddering Travion Henderson, to try and bust a big one. I think it's a very low number right now. So eyeing down the running backs, the New England running backs, for some receiving yardage over.
When are we going to get the full slate of bets and props and all that stuff on Live at Lunch?
Oh,
just throughout the week?
Friday.
Okay, Friday. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
we kind of sprinkling them, but Friday for sure.
All right, make sure you catch Charlie and Jimmy weekdays 11 to 1 live at lunch. And, of course, leading up to Super Bowl 60, they'll have tons of contributors giving you the best bets. Where are you tomorrow?
We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in Mid-City.
All right. Thank you, Otter. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
All right, Jimmy Ott. Of course, you can get Otterlocks at LouisianaSports.net. Always free over at LouisianaSports.net. The other thing we'll remind you again is we do have our March Madness giveaway. If you missed this earlier, we talked about it. Paulie, would you mind pulling up? So if you go to LouisianaSports.net, on the homepage, you'll see the banner right there. It's the March Madness giveaway. We are sending a lucky winner and a guest to Las Vegas for opening weekend of the tournament. So it's flight vouchers, 3-night hotel stay in Vegas. So you want to be there for the opening weekend of March Madness. We're sending you there. It's totally free to enter. Just go to LouisianaSports.net, and you'll see the entry form right there on the homepage, the big graphic. So LouisianaSports.net, you'll see the entry form. It's fly out Wednesday. So you're in Vegas Wednesday. So Thursday morning when the games start, you're there at the sports book for Thursday morning, Friday morning, then you'll fly home wherever home is on Saturday. Again, it's free to enter, and you can live anywhere. You don't have to be in Baton Rouge. So it's a travel voucher, so you can book your flight, which makes sense if you win. And we're running the entries all the way through March the 1st, so it should give you plenty of time between March 1st and the opening day of the tournament to take off of work if you need all that and everything like that. So we're excited about it, man. We are fortunate to be able to do some cool giveaways and count this one as one. Certainly March Madness Flyaway, courtesy of LouisianaSports.net. Y'all check it out. All right, that's just about going to do it for us here. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Big shout out to Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do shutters and now shades as well. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Okay, I'm out tomorrow because we'll be flying to San Francisco. We'll get set up there, get you a lot of content from Radio Row tomorrow evening. And then AFR, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from Radio Row in San Francisco, counting you down to Super Bowl 60. We're fired up to be there. Muse Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Getting on down the road, let me remind you about South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. Man, they always have great deals. You know, the thing I love to tell you about the most with Volkswagen is the style, feel, performance of luxury. Great German engineering, manufactured in the US of A, all the 9 different IIHS top safety picks, so you get the safest vehicles on the road. But my goodness, at South Point, they can make a deal. When you're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, you have better selection, more inventory, and you can give better prices. So, I mean, right now, how about $279 a month for 36 months on 2026 Taos? Under $300 a month for a brand new Volkswagen, the compact SUV. $3,000 off 2026 Atlas. Check them out at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.